chosen one. Pause now, not in routine, but in reverence. There are moments when the sky leans low and the eternal breath of heaven brushes against your life. This is one of those moments, not just another day, not just another Saturday. This one is marked in fire. Something holy is stirring beneath the surface of your ordinary, something ancient, divine, and unstoppable. Heaven has pressed pause on the noise of your schedule to whisper destiny into your bones. The unseen realm is shifting, and the echo of God's footsteps is drawing near. This is the breath before the breakthrough, the stillness before the gates swing open. You have not stumbled upon this day by accident. This is a divine interruption. God is not simply sending a blessing. He is releasing a movement. A holy storm is gathering over your life, not to destroy, but to deliver. The delay is lifting. The wind is shifting in your direction. Doors long rusted shut are creaking open beneath the weight of divine timing. What was withheld is being summoned. What was silent is about to speak. You may not see it with your eyes, but the spiritual tide has turned. What you've been praying for is now running toward you. Your tears have not been lost. Your silence has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has recorded every cry, and now it answers not with a whisper, but with a flood. Prepare yourself. The invisible is about to become visible. The hidden prayers are about to erupt into public testimony. Your moment is not coming. It has already begun. Let your soul be still, for this is the breath before God moves. And when he moves, nothing can remain the same. The winds of delay are dying. The storm of waiting has passed. Now, heaven speaks not in future tense, but in divine present. What was once pending has been stamped with the seal of now, not by the will of man, not by accident, but by the deliberate hand of the Almighty. The shift you feel in your spirit is not imagined, it is ordained. You've wandered long enough through the wilderness of wondering. You've watched others rise while your roots dug deeper in hidden soil. But listen, roots grow downward before fruit stretches upward. God was not punishing you in the silence. He was preparing the foundation for a harvest too weighty to grow on shallow ground. Chosen one. The door that is opening is not a man-made opportunity. It is a heaven-authored unveiling. This is not favor you had to beg for, plead for, or manipulate. This is the reward of alignment. This is what happens when destiny and divine timing collide. It will not be subtle. It will not ask for applause. It will not knock quietly. It will thunder. What once resisted you will now recognize you. What once closed on you will now welcome you. And it will not be because of your credentials or connections, but because heaven has already decided. This Saturday is not the result of lucky stars or sudden karma. It is the birthing of a moment that was whispered into the void before you ever took your first breath. You are stepping into a move of God that does not ask for permission. The heavens are tearing open, and your name is written in the light. You are not late. You are right on divine time. This is not just an event. It is an unveiling. A curtain is being drawn back, not just in your circumstances, but in the spirit realm. God is not simply answering a prayer. He is revealing a plan, and what felt like silence was actually strategy. While you were pacing in midnight hours, heaven was scripting an unshakable outcome. Do you feel it? That subtle unrest in your spirit? That holy ache? That's not confusion. That is divine movement, waking your soul. You are being summoned, called out of the crowd, separated for something weightier than comfort. You were not created for average. You were born for moments like this, moments that shift bloodlines and generations, just as Esther was positioned for such a time. So have you been tucked into moments of obscurity for this revealing, not to hide you, but to protect the oil on your life? The battles you fought in secret weren't in vain. They were rehearsals for authority. And now, the stage is set. What was once private pain is about to become public purpose. God is pulling you into visibility, not for vanity, but for victory. This is your ascension, not because you climbed ladders, but because heaven lowered a rope, and what seemed like missed moments were actually divine reroutes, sacred detours that kept you from doors too small for the call on your life. The whispers in your prayer room are about to become declarations in the public square. This is not your doing. This is God making good on His word. Chosen one. The story is unfolding, and you are the page. Heaven has waited to turn. Prepare your heart, beloved, for the wind of God is no longer circling, it is landing. The same breath that hovered over the waters in Genesis is now breathing over your season, and when heaven breathes, nothing stays still. Dead things come alive. Closed places break open. The atmosphere shifts, and this time, it's your life that is about to bear the imprint of that holy wind. This is not a gentle breeze of comfort. This is a divine gust of change. You are stepping into a force that will carry you beyond your natural reach. You won't have to strive. You won't have to manufacture momentum. The Spirit of God is becoming your current, your compass, your clarity, and when He moves, He brings everything you lacked in the last season. Every no becomes a yes. Every delay turns into divine delivery. What was once hard will suddenly become effortless, not because the terrain changed, but because the wind is at your back. You are not pushing alone anymore. Heaven has joined the march. Look to the scriptures and remember the Red Sea moment. The Israelites stood between death and deliverance. No options, no escape. But then, God moved, not with a suggestion, but with a parting. The sea itself split to make way. What should have drowned them became the very path that set them free. So too shall it be for you. What tried to hold you will now escort you forward. What tried to bury you will now witness your rise. You are no longer at the mercy of your circumstances. You are now caught in the mercy of God, and His mercy moves with power. What is coming is not the result of chance. It is not the reward of performance. It is the unfolding of a promise. There is a door now standing before you, not built by hands, not carved by men, but fashioned by the very breath of God. This door does not respond to keys, credentials, or connections. It opens to obedience. It opens to alignment. It opens to surrender. You will not need to push this time. You will not need to plead. This door is already swinging on hinges forged in eternity, and when heaven opens a door, it does so with full authority. No force on earth or beneath it can close what God has decided to reveal. The handle belongs to Him. Your only task is to walk through. This is not just a doorway. It is a threshold. The space between who you were and who you are becoming. The passage from preparation into possession. The crossing from survival into assignment. And once you step through, the weight you carried will not follow. What hindered you before will not have access in this new space. In Revelation, God declares, "See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." This is that moment. This is that door, not shaped by approval, but by purpose. Note dépend en status. but on calling, and when you cross, you will find the favor waiting, the provision already in place, the clarity you prayed for now, embodied in every step you take. You won't have to strive to make it fit, because this place was shaped for you before time began. Chosen one, the door is open. The moment is now. Stand still for a moment. Let your spirit listen beyond the noise. Can you hear it? That trembling sound beneath the surface of your soul. It is the cadence of heaven's turning wheel, the sound of seasons shifting. This is your divine turning point. You've circled long enough in the same patterns. You've stared at the same closed doors, carried the same unspoken fears. But today, the spiritual axis turns. God is lifting you from cycles into progress, from delay into divine momentum. The tide is not just rising, it's rising for you. You may have felt forgotten in the last season, as if your prayers hit ceilings and your efforts vanished into silence. But God was not ignoring you. He was storing you, keeping you hidden like oil in the alabaster jar, waiting for the hour of sacred unveiling. And now the hour has come. The veil is lifting. The atmosphere is charged. This is not revival for the crowd. This is resurrection for your calling. The version of you that once trembled in doubt is being replaced by the one who walks boldly in faith, not because of what you've earned, but because of who God is faithful. Precise, unshakable. The tables are turning. The script is flipping. The enemy that thought he silenced you will now witness the sound of your roar. The darkness that tried to swallow you will now serve as backdrop for your illumination. This turning point is not slight. It is sovereign. It is not emotional. It is eternal. You are no longer circling. You are rising, and nothing can stop what God has already set in motion. This is no ordinary blessing. It is a current, a surge, a divine stream breaking loose beneath the surface of your waiting. What once felt dry and cracked emotionally, spiritually, even financially, is now being flooded by something not born of this earth. It is heaven's answer rushing in, not drop by drop, but like a river released from restraint. Isaiah's words were not poetry. They were prophecy. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Yes. Now, not tomorrow. Not someday. Now it springs up. The stream is not coming. It has begun to flow. And your life, your family, your future is standing in its path. This is the place where impossibilities bow, where what once mocked your faith will soon be silenced by undeniable evidence, where dry ground becomes the very place fruit begins to grow. You will not have to explain it. You will not have to convince anyone. The evidence will speak. The stream is not just provision, it is precision. God is sending exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Resources, connections, doors, each arriving like pieces to a puzzle only heaven could design. What once seemed fragmented is now forming a holy picture. Do not fear the unfamiliar current. It is not here to sweep you away. It is here to carry you forward. The river knows its course. Trust its flow, for it is not man-made. It is God-directed. Step into it, and let the current of divine momentum lift you to places your feet alone could never take you. There comes a moment when your name is no longer just spoken on earth. It is whispered in heaven. Angels lean forward. Assignments shift. The sound of your obedience echoes through eternity. And God, in his infinite timing, says aloud, now, this is that moment. You didn't earn this by perfection. You were chosen through surrender. While others sought platform, you sought presence. While some chased applause, You chased after his whisper. And now, heaven has whispered your name. The stage being set is not for your spotlight. It's for his glory. You are not stepping into fame. You are stepping into function. The fire you walked through was not just survival. It was sanctification. The tears you cried were not wasted. They were watering the field that is now ready to bloom. God is not promoting you for popularity. He is positioning you for purpose. And what is coming will not flatter your ego. It will stretch your spirit. It will call you into rooms you don't feel ready for. But God has already filled with grace. The favor you carry will disturb the comfort of others. But do not shrink back. This is not your imagination. This is your invitation. You are being called higher, not just to rise, but to lift others with you. The mantle you now wear is heavy because it carries the weight of generational breakthrough. So lift your head, chosen one. The time of hiding is over. Your name has been called in the courts of heaven, and earth is about to echo its sound. This is not just a shift. It is a commissioning. The heavens are not merely releasing favor. They are placing a mantle on your shoulders, one forged in affliction, baptized in isolation, refined in hidden places, and now, ignited by holy fire. Do not mistake your warfare for rejection. It was confirmation. Hell does not fight what heaven does not fear. The resistance you faced was not a sign of failure. It was the sound of the mantle being fastened to your calling. And now, the flame that once flickered is becoming a blaze. The enemy tried to wear you out because he saw what was coming before you did. But he could not stop the oil. He could not quench the flame. You are stepping into a level of authority that cannot be counterfeited, imitated, or denied. This is not charisma. This is consecration. When Elijah passed his mantle to Elisha, it was not a ceremony of prestige. It was a release of power, a weight that carried miracles, confrontation, and legacy. And now, that same spirit is moving across your life. You are not being elevated for applause. You are being trusted with fire. This fire is not for display. It is for demonstration. It will consume what no therapy could heal. It will burn through cycles that history said could not be broken. This is not just for your freedom. It's for your family's deliverance, your city's revival, your generation's awakening. Get ready. The mantle you carry now demands movement, and everywhere you walk, the flame will follow, because fire never stays still when it's sent from heaven. This is the moment where everything changes. The clock of destiny strikes not just a new hour, but a new era. The season of watching is over. The season of walking has begun, and with each step you take from this point forward, you know this, heaven has already said yes. Yes to your rising. Yes to your release. Yes to your restoration. The doors that now open are not temporary blessings. They are permanent placements. Not positions handed by man, but spaces carved by God's own hand, waiting for your obedience to arrive. You are not just stepping into increase. You are stepping into identity, the fullness of who you were created to be before the world tried to name you otherwise. This is your now, not next, not someday. Now, let every fear fall. Let every doubt dissolve. The season of second guessing has expired. The divine momentum behind you will not slow, because it was never fueled by your strength. It was lit by divine decree, and it carries the authority of the one who called you. As you go, do not forget who sustained you in the midnight hours. Do not forget the altar you built in your brokenness, the prayers you whispered when no one else was listening, They built this path. And now, the answer has arrived. Stand tall. Chosen one, walk forward with fire. What God has begun cannot be undone. The story is no longer waiting to be written. It is now being lived. This is the sound of destiny in motion. This is the pulse of heaven in your chest. This is the divine momentum. And the only word left to say is Amen.